I don't cough anymore. When you have CF, you cough all the time. I became increasingly short of breath at home, then started needing oxygen 24/7, which was a very big deal for me. I had never had that in my life before. So it was very strange and a little worrisome, thinking like, oh my gosh, is this it? And that was even not enough. The oxygen at home was not doing the trick. I was still very short of breath. And this lasted over a couple of weeks.
By mid-April, she was showing signs that infection was not just limited to the lungs anymore, but it was spilling over into the rest of her body. And this was causing her to be, what we call, in septic shock.
The last day I remember is Easter Sunday of 2016. And I remember I was on high flow oxygen and my daughter came with my husband to have Easter Sunday in the hospital room. She was all dressed up in her little Easter dress. Everything basically went black and I don't remember about 2 months of my life.
Our hand was being forced a little bit because she was actively dying, and if we hadn't done something, she would have died that day for sure.
The patient had made it very clear that she wants to live for her family, for her child, and do anything, experimental or not, to give her a chance if we could do it. At this point, she wasn't part of the decision because she was too sick, but everybody knew what her wishes were.
My family was unanimous and said, let's do it. And why are we sitting here waiting? Let's do it like an hour ago. Let's go. We're wasting time.
It was probably around 20 minutes after having taken those infected lungs out that her blood pressure normalized and they could remove all the pressure supporting drugs and just leave her on the pumps, of course, that were providing the circulation. And thankfully in about 5 or 6 days we did get donor lungs offered that were her correct blood type and a reasonable size match that we could go ahead with the transplant. And we kind of joked about it because it was a very easy transplant because half the operation was done already.
I remember waking up and my first image was my mom was there and my uncle. My entire family was there, but I remember those two. And they said, Melissa, you've had a lung transplant. And I kind of looked at them and said, what? I was in the ICU for 3.5 months. And then probably another month down on the transplant floor with the ventilator, trying to wean off of it. And that was when, wow, I can breathe. I've never had this feeling. My physiotherapist, Vince, was the first person that got me to stand up. I never thought I'd do it again. I never thought I'd walk. And here I'm walking.
To do remarkable things and innovate, you do have to stick your neck out a bit. Like, it wasn't an easy decision for us. There were a lot of thoughts that go through your head about, well, what if, and what if it goes all wrong, and people say, well, what were you thinking?
I think about my donor all the time, and their family, and the decision they made was probably the most difficult decision they'll ever have to make. But it was one of the best, because their family member gets to live on in me. You smile nice with your teeth. Smile pretty with your teeth. I get to tickle you.